Hello, everybody. It's me, Charlotte360, and yes, I do look terrible headed today. I popped my knee yesterday getting up from my couch. How fucking random. But yeah, I went to get up from the couch and I could feel my knee get ready to pop. And so this morning, when it was time to do my hair, I was kind of limping around the house. So yeah, I didn't have time to do my hair because I was really just trying to get in and out of the bathtub. So my hair on this live is an extreme mess. But you've seen me look worse, so it really doesn't matter. I mean, honestly, you've seen me look way worse. So today we're going to shoot the shit because I don't really have anything particularly that I want to talk about, but I just wanted to talk. So here we are. I don't have any topics in particular I want to talk about, but I wanted to talk. So here we are. And I don't know, it doesn't feel to me like there's a whole bunch going on in K-pop. So I don't even feel comfortable saying, let's talk about K-pop because I really don't know what we would be talking about here. I mean, we could talk about the fact that Rain, Ihyori, and Yoo Ji-suk have an all kill right now in Korea. That's pretty nice for them, or at least they had an all kill yesterday, I believe. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have a lot to talk about. Oh, and Silgi and Irene's Naughty came out today, and well, the performance video, the first video came out today, and on the one hand, I really, really like the video. Hey, Meg. Hey, Alondra. On the other hand, why wasn't it on the SM Town channel? Like, when I went to find it, I had to go specifically to the Red Velvet channel to see it. And I feel like if we're talking about greater visibility here, it should have been on the SM main channel because that's where all the big videos are. So, what the fuck? I hear that the numbers aren't great for the views, which is unfortunate because it has the most impressive hand choreography I've seen in K-pop in years. Like K-pop hand choreography, the hands always do play a part in the movement, but like this literally looked like it was sign language. It was very, very impressive, and I'm just wondering why it's not making more noise. First of all, let us all be in agreement here. Naughty should have been the title track. Monster's a great song. I appreciate it. It sounds very much like a TVXQ song. Happy for you, because they gave the girls what essentially could have been a guy's concept song. Naughty, though, is, I could easily see being a Taemin title track, or at least a B-side on a Taemin project. And for two girls who are trying to dance, perfect for them. Perfect for them. It just has a good energy. It's something I would want to hear frequently. I just really, really liked it. And I think it was a much better energy visually even than Monster was. I think Monster is very much a winter track, whereas I think Naughty can still play in the summer. So SM, you don't ever ask me for my opinion. For some reason, you have locked me out of the company's socials and login information, so I don't have the ability to directly influence you. But you need to call me. You need to call me. You need to write me. You need to ask me for my opinion because I've got answers for you. I've got ideas for you. I would like to propel the company forward. I have a number of things that I would like to write down just to send to you, like, here's where you can improve. I don't intend to talk bad to you because I'm just going to assume that, COVID has got you stressed out. But I have a number of things that I'd like to bring to the table to ask you, can you please do this better? Also, I was in my car today. Random. I have this thumb drive that I keep a bunch of songs on. I have like 600 songs on it. And I'm currently playing all those songs in alphabetical order. So like I never know who the next song is going to be by. It's just whatever is the next in the alphabetical list. And random Keys, Why Are You Here from his Japanese hologram album came on. That song is a fucking jam. If you've never heard it before, I highly recommend. It is a really good song. So, I don't know, just random thing I wanted to bring out there. Keys, Why Are You Here? It's a really decent kind of R&B, mid-tempo, fun thing. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. But yeah, I don't have anything really in particular to talk about, so this is your time to ask me my opinion on random things. I might have an opinion, I might not have an opinion. We do not have to limit this to K-pop. We can talk about other things as well. But yeah, just ask me some questions. Let me give you some answers. Let me make an ass of myself for public record, and we can all have fun here. I guess I could start off with one thing. Um, I heard a really weird opinion today at work, and it wasn't about like anything work specific at all. It was just a really weird opinion because it's an opinion I've had before, but I've never heard anybody else say it. Sometimes you don't need to add bacon to things. That was the opinion. Like I said, it was random, not really pertaining to work. I don't eat meat like that anymore. Like, yes, I have eaten things with meat since I became vegetarian. I'm not even gonna lie to you about that. Every once in a while, I'm just like, you know what? There's nothing else on this menu. Or it'll be like, damn, I haven't had that in years and I really have a taste for it because I'm not gonna have access to it again for years. But for the most part, I am a full time vegetarian. And I remember back in my regular meat eating days, sometimes you didn't need the bacon. You know, there's this weird thing in America where we had like a couple of years there where everybody was obsessed with bacon. And I mean, like, just obsessed with the concept of bacon. Not even like, oh, I love to put bacon on my salad. I love to put bacon on my hamburger. It was like people buying bacon stickers and wearing bacon t-shirts. It was just really, it was a thing. And like all of a sudden it's like, you know, if you're manly, you eat bacon on everything. And just, it got stupid. It got really, really stupid. Like, we have bacon donuts currently, like maple bacon donuts. Why? But I digress. But a coworker of mine, we both went to Jersey Mike's to have sandwiches, and I had this it was like a Philly sandwich, like a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, but with no meat. So basically it was like bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms that had been fried on the grill, sauteed with cheese, and then chipotle mayo inside of a hoagie roll. It was a really good sandwich, y'all. Like, it was really, really good. I also had a little pepper relish in there. Oh, the chef's kiss, delicious. Anyway, my coworker, she had a roast beef sandwich with bacon on it, and she's just like, you know, I should have told them not to put the bacon. And I'm like, oh, why? Is the bacon bad at Jersey Mike's? She's like, no, it's not that the bacon's bad. It's just sometimes things don't need bacon on them. And I was like, you know, that is true facts. That is really real. Sometimes things just don't need bacon on them. And bacon, you know, her argument was that bacon is a very overpowering flavor, and like if you pair bacon with a lesser meat, you lose the flavor of the lesser meat, which I can see that argument absolutely. Like, if you pair bacon with chicken, you cannot taste the chicken. But also for me, bacon, not only is it a very overpowering flavor, but sometimes the bacon just doesn't go. Like, sometimes you can have something that's really good and you put the bacon on there and the bacon just is like an opposite flavor and it throws off the balance of everything else you're eating. So yeah, I totally got that opinion. So I thought I'd share that with you. But this is just an example of what I mean when I say ask me anything, because I don't have any particular agenda for today's conversation. That is literally why this is called Shoot the Shit with Me. Talking about whatever. Other random things on the internet. Kanye West is in the middle of a manic episode, and I really feel bad for him because he has got no one. He's got nobody in his corner. I feel like nobody cares about him. And I cannot imagine living a life like that. Like, if I was operating in the same method that Kanye West is currently operating in, my mother would have had me involuntarily committed a long time ago. Hey, friend. Because she knows that, like, the way I am, she knows what my baseline is, and she knows what my extreme is, and she would realize I was even over my extreme. Like, he did Kanye West said he was going to try to run for president, right? He did a campaign rally over the weekend in South Carolina. It's in the middle of COVID. It was an indoor campaign rally of some sort. He shows up with the word or the numbers 2020 painted on his head and wearing a bulletproof vest and talking about how, you know, we need to eliminate abortion, and he almost had his wife abort his first child, and that his dad almost had him aborted, and how some people are demons or are being influenced by demons, how Harriet Tubman did not free the slaves. She just had them work for other white people, like just tangent upon tangent upon tangent. And not everything he said was like ridiculous, but so much of it was that it was an issue. But I think what cinched it for me in terms of saying that I believe he was in a manic state is the crying that he did over the idea that his father was going to have him aborted when his mother was pregnant. Because it didn't seem like I'm having this conversation because I'm so emotional about, pro-life. It more seemed like he's got issues around his own existence. That's what it felt like to me. And, everybody says Kanye West has been off ever since his mother passed away. His mother, Donda West, she was a professor at a university in Chicago, I believe. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like things are going wrong, things are bad, and he hasn't had anybody to care for him since. It's like there's two styles of people that are currently working with Kanye West right now. There are the sycophants and the leeches and the people who are using him for his clout, his fame, and his ability to give them access to the nicer things in life. And then there are the people who see his downfall as a way for them to catapult their own agendas. And those are the people that are around him. Like, I feel like his wife, a lot of times, Kim Kardashian, I don't know her personally, this is all just my idea. I feel like if she truly loved this man and loved him in the way that a real life partner does, she would not have her children around him. Because the way he's talking about things, it almost seems like he is veering off to the side of extreme religiosity rather than, just being a religious person. And he'll eventually say that the Lord told him to do something with his children that is wild. And as a mother, that is something I could never be a party of. Like, I would find it irresponsible on her part to leave her children alone with him ever, because who's to say that he would not do something that would put those children in danger? But I digress. So Alondra said, I saw Hire has a new artist, crossing new fingers, this artist is good, LOL. Yeah, I'm excited about that too. I think we all hope that it's going to be one particular person, but I mean, we can't say, we don't know. So Ehai has been teasing that she's got a new song coming out. I think it's called Hollow, like holographic, hollow. And nobody really knows what record label she's signed with. She's doing a reality show, I think, where she talks to different people who have worked with her. And as she's talking to these people, I guess she's going to reveal which company she actually went to. She's also doing a set of social distancing busking sessions. There is a channel on YouTube called Begin Again. And on the channel Begin Again, Crush, Ehai, Suhyun from Akdong, Henry, who used to be with Super Junior M, and a few other older artists, more established artists in Korea, are doing social distancing busking. So they'll do busking events at the Han River, at a park, wherever else, and people will either sit 6 feet apart, or people will be in their own vehicles, cars, while watching these performances. And I mean, she's gearing up to be back in the public eye, and it's great for her. And if you watch her on Begin Again, she's not super done up. She's not given the YG glam treatment. It is a very organic, natural, kind of everyday girl type of look. So it would be awesome if that's going to be her next move. But like Alondra said, Pinamiko left Million Market, so there's a good chance that he could be who's signing up to hire. I personally would love it if it is Ehai, only because I feel like there's a lot of testosterone on Hire right now. So to put a little bit more estrogen in the air would be nice. Because let's see, AOMG's got Hoodie. I want to say they also have Homegirl, Sugam, and then is Davida on Hire? Is she on Hire? Correct me. I probably got it mixed up. But there's just not a lot of girl energy out there, so I'd like to push some more women that way, and then maybe have a women's super group come out of that too. That'd be awesome. That'd be amazing. I'd really like to see it. I always mix up AOMG and Hire, because like it literally to me feels like it's the same person and peoples, so I get that confused quite a bit. But yeah, I'd love to see more girls. Okay, so Lixbrick says, new Rainbow Bridge girl group is about to debut soon, and the trailer for the first member is out now. I really hope the group does well. Okay, so Rainbow Bridge. Correct me, because I could be wrong. No, that's Mystic. Never mind. Rainbow Bridge is Mamamoo's company, right? I'm right? Am I wrong? Am I right? Because I always get Mystic and Rainbow Bridge World confused. Like, I really get them mixed up a lot. So, here's the thing. Mamamoo has done really well for Rainbow Bridge World. I don't feel like anything else that Rainbow Bridge World has done well. That's just my personal opinion. I don't look at the charts. I don't know for sure, but I just feel like nothing else that Rainbow Bridge World has done has really struck a chord with the public in that way. So I can't say I'm super excited about it. I question a girl group from them if they're going to try to replicate what they had with Mamamoo. Because I don't think that the K-pop environment is welcoming of a girl group like Mamamoo. Mamamoo, when they came out, you already had groups like Sistar, and you already had, the public used to a brown-eyed girl and stuff like that, and there was still kind of a space for that. We're all about the vocals. That doesn't feel to me like that's what K-pop's about right now. It feels very much to me like right now K-pop is all about variety, social media, image, and especially looks, because so much of what idols do now, especially in the midst of COVID, is doing V-Lives, doing online events, posting selfies, just all kinds of stuff having to do with social media. And social media is a highly visual platform. So even if you have somebody like sing the house down, if they don't look good, I think it's hard to get a foothold in culture currently. And so either you have to be not traditionally beautiful, but like interesting to look at, or you have to be like phenomenal looking. There's just really no in between. And yeah, I don't think that Korea is really necessarily fucking around with like, oh, are you a really great singer if you're in the idol space. I think it's very different if you're in the ballad space, or if you're in the trot space, or if you're in the folk space, the indie space, the R&B space. I think it is a little bit different, but I think in the idol space, nobody really gives a damn about whether or not you can actually sing. Also, like, let's be really real here. There is a type of singing that idols are expected to do, because it's what idols have done, that really kind of pushes artists out of the way. So a lot of idol groups in the very beginning are made to be whatever it is the company conceptualizes them to be. And so you have a lot of people that they join as a trainee. They're trained up in the way that the company wants the artist to present themselves. The company comes up with the concept. The group goes out there and they perform the concept. And so their singing is in a pattern that the company identifies as being idol style singing. And because of that, it really makes it to where you don't get a good gauge on who the artist is until maybe a couple of releases later, and people start feeling more comfortable with their voice, and they do start to interject more of themselves in their product. But early on, they're just all kind of like fill in the blanks, if you will. And I think that's the reason why you don't get a lot of different sounds. Like, I think that's a reason why so many debuts that come along are so similar sounding, because companies are taking these pre-produced tracks and they're saying, now sing it this way because this is what we paid for, and people don't get a chance to show their color. And I find that ironic. I find that very ironic, because when you look at which groups have made it to like superstardom in the K-pop world, they're usually groups that don't sound like anybody else. They have a singular sound that is easily identifiable. So I'm not sure why companies right now are debuting so many groups where their members sound interchangeable, and when someone leaves a company, it's hard to miss them on the track because you can't really hear them. Um, but yeah, let people sing. Let people sing. Let them show the public why it is they were special enough to be chosen for the group in the first place. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see kind of like, what was it about you as a trainee that held this spark that made people say, we need to get this person in front of the general public because they've got it. Because there's tons of beautiful faces out there. If we were just going to talk about a beautiful face or able to do choreography, then the only people that should be recruited for K-pop groups are models and dancers. Those should be the only people allowed to be in K-pop groups. But we have vocalists for a reason, because I can't see how good you sound. I gotta hear it, right? So yeah, if we're trying to hear it, we need to hear it. So put it out there. Hey Mason, we're just talking about whatever, so you can ask me whatever you want my opinion on. If I've already talked about it, I'll let you know. So someone asked me about Somi's comeback. Somi, I'm very much a neutral on her, and I'm not a neutral because I hate her. I'm a neutral because I feel like I don't know where this shit is gonna go. Honestly, I watched most of 16, the survival show she was on with JYP, where he formed twice. And I remember on the show thinking that they are really building this girl up. Like, they gave us a lot of backstory about her family and her being bullied for being half Korean, and they showed her sister and her dad and all this stuff. And I'm like, they really want us to be invested in this girl. And I personally didn't see it talent-wise for her, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm old and she's young. She's super young. So maybe it's not for me to see. Maybe what they're seeing is a great potential for her. Then she went on Produce, and I tried to watch the first season of Produce. It is so poorly edited that I just could not get through it. Like, I remember telling Mason about trying to get through the first stage of Produce, where like they had people in the F group, and there was this one girl who became like an actress or something that was in the F group, and I'm like, I hate this bitch. And he's like, well, if you hate her, you're gonna hate the season because she makes it into the group. I'm like, all right, good. I'm gonna quit watching the show now. But I just could not stand it. And so Somi makes it into the final group for Produce. And I remember the first video they had was them like bouncing around the studio and talking to, not talking, but like, they were like, there's a camera and they're in this one brick room, and then there's them in the studio, and they're like trying to get the attention of the camera, and Somi's bouncing all around the place, and you can't help but look at her. Like, you can't help but look at her because she looks like she should be on the cover of like 17 magazine or something. She has that very fresh, wholesome teen look. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is something here. And then they come out with Dream Girl, which is forgettable. Then they come out with more stuff, and the other stuff they come out with is really good. Like, What a Man is really decent. What is the name of that fucking song now? The JYP written song. That was a good song. Like, they come out with stuff that's pretty good. I'm like, okay, so there is something here. Like, I don't know necessarily about her as a solo, but there is something here. Very, very. Yeah, okay. Anyway, they come out with that. I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here. And the word is that Somi's going to be a part of a new girl group at JYP. And I'm like, all right, she has done really well in IOI, and she is very visual. JYP always has something interesting he puts down the pipe. I mean, look at Twice, look at Wonder Girls, look at Miss A. JYP knows how to do a girl group. Let's not kid ourselves into thinking that JYP is only good for a boy group. JYP knows his way around a girl group. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I want big things to go on. She does Sister Slam Dunk. Is that the show she was on, or was it Uni's Revenge? One of the two. One of them shows where she was with a bunch of girls. Minzy does that. And then they're like, she's leaving JYP. And instantly I'm thinking, this is a really bad idea. This is a really bad idea because JYP, even if you don't understand what he's doing, he understands what he's doing. And JYP is like your best date experience the worst sex you've ever had. Like, he knows what to do in the beginning to get you in the mood. He knows how to lay it on. He knows how to get your expectations hot. He makes you feel like, girl, once I get you into it, you're not gonna believe what daddy could do for you. And you're like, I'm into it, daddy. Show me, show me. I can't wait. I can't wait. And then, like, 5 minutes later, you're like, are you serious? And he's like, I can't help it. You got me so excited. Like, he just starts out so strong, and then he just kind of peters out towards the end. But all sexual innuendo aside, JYP gives a strong start to every project he puts out. Like, you can't say otherwise. Every project that JYP puts out, he gives the strongest of starts to. And then he's like, and now you better propel yourself, bitch. And because of that, I was like, Somi, if you got the propulsion in the beginning, if you had just hung in there to let your group debut, rocket ships for you. This, you would have been phenomenal. But instead, she goes to YG. And I never thought the YG move was a good move. I always thought the YG move was shitty and horrible because YG is known for fucking over their solo girls. Gummy, Ihai, they just don't know what the fuck to do with them. Suhyun, they just don't know what to do with them. So she goes over to YG, and YG is like, we're going to put the promotion machine behind you, girl. We totally have faith in you. Everything's going to be great. And she comes out with Birthday. Birthday is not a bad song per se. It's just that Birthday was not a great song. Like, Birthday had a bunch of really catchy parts. You know, oops, you're not invited. No, you got invited. Like that part, and like the little rapping choruses. Na 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 na. But then you saw her on stage, and you realize this girl needs a group. Like, more than anything, you see her on stage. This girl needs support, and it's not just about having like other people on the stage with her. It is literally about, like, she needs to only do a part of this song, take a break, somebody else handles the rest of the song, take a break, and then it's her turn again. She does not have what it takes to carry an entire song. And I think maybe the issue is that some people confuse beauty with charisma. Somi's a beautiful girl. I would never shortchange her looks. I think she is a beautiful girl. She, not to sound racist, she sounds very much like she's not biracial. She looks very much like she's not biracial. Like, when you look at her face on, she looks like she is just like some teen model from Michigan out here in the public. She does not look like she's mixed to me, personally, to me. And so I think that a lot of people have taken her looks and be like, oh, she's so charming with her big Western eyes and her big Western looks, and haven't really paid attention to the fact that, like, vocally, Somi's not that strong. Performance-wise, Somi needs other people to kind of break up the monotony. And being beautiful does not necessarily mean that I can stand staring at you for 5 minutes. Like, you're fun to look at right now, and now I kind of need to look at something else. So, yeah, I mean, I wish the best for her, because I don't ever wish failure on people who haven't done anything to me, or people who I don't see as, like, actually being bad people. But at the same time, if this next song is not great, I wouldn't be sad, because I think her move to YG was completely and utterly motivated by her father's greed. I think her dad was like, YG is willing to not only sign you up, but they're also willing to give me an acting contract. And you know me, I'm all about my fame and getting my kids' fame up. They probably have a contract on her sister as well. Like, it was a package deal to get her to YG. And also, like, YG has fooled the Korean public into believing that they are the Louis Vuitton of record labels. Like, people really do look at YG as if it is the Louis Vuitton, Chanel, you know, upper tier, Beverly Hills, Bel Air of Korean music labels. And it's really not. Like, it is good. It's very good. They've had a lot of really good successes. But at the end of the day, if you're an artist and you are about your music, not about fame, if you're about your music and getting your music out as often as possible and having an opportunity to do as much music as possible, YG is not that label. YG's cool and all. I'm not going to say they're not cool or that they don't have some really great stuff in the bucket, but if you're an artist who cares about making the music, YG will drive you literally crazy because they're not going to give you the opportunity to do a lot of stuff. They're going to say, okay, record 50 songs and I will choose which 2 I would like to release in the next 5 years. And if you're somebody who is driven by output and driven by experimentation and driven by feedback, I don't know how you could ever be satisfied at a label like YG. Personally, I don't know how you'd ever be satisfied. So, again, I don't feel like Somi's move to YG is because JYP was dragging his feet about giving Somi music. I think it was more about her dad's greed and their belief that her charm would propel record sales of anything she put out there. And yeah, I don't think she's ready. And I personally wonder if she'll ever be ready. But she might prove me wrong. This song might come out and it might be gangbusters. It might be great. But also, like, the other thing that I am concerned about with this comeback is I've seen a lot of teaser pictures for this comeback and none of them match. Straight up, none of them match. Every time I see a teaser picture, it feels like it is for a totally different concept. And it got me wondering, like, what are we actually getting here? Like, there's wigs and headdresses and different types of outfits and nothing matches at all. And so I really don't know what this concept is. And maybe it's just me, maybe I'm old-fashioned and I expect to be able to kind of get a feel for a project based on the teasers. These teasers are giving me nothing. These teasers are giving me editorial, but that's really all I'm getting from them. And so I can't say that I'm super pumped about this, but we'll see what happens. We will see. All right, what's the next topic you want me to talk about? Like I said, it doesn't have to be K-pop. It could be anything at all. I'm willing to talk about all kinds of stuff. I'm willing to talk about me even. Just, ask me what you want to ask me and we'll just go from there. I'm getting a headache from having my hair pulled up in a ponytail, so I'm going to take it out for a minute. Ignore the way my hair looks. My hair looks a mess because, again, like I said, I didn't do it before I went to work, so look at that. That's disgusting. Some of these individuals are good, but you're right, none of them match any concept or theme. Ugh, my hair is a wreck. I can't believe Jinky didn't ghost us. Right! Like, I can't believe he's like, hey guys, I'm home! I really thought he was going to be like, well, you already know I'm home. Leave me alone. But he did acknowledge that he's come home. And it's so exciting. Like, Itaemin had his birthday, and then right after that, we have Jinky home. And I'm just so glad to have him back. I mean, it doesn't really mean much, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, because I don't feel like he's going to jump into any projects anytime soon. But at the same time, I'm just really grateful that we're one step closer to him doing something. Whatever that something might be. I'm just glad to get him doing something. I have not gotten my shiny photo book yet, and that is because I don't think that Jazzy has gotten her shipment yet. So when Jazzy gets her shipment, then she will send me my photo book from her shipment. So that's where I'm at on that. Thoughts on Niziu? That's my thought. Who? Niziu? Is that even how you pronounce that? I have no idea. Who is Niziu? I don't know. I don't know. Sorry about that. He's even doing a live stream. Like, damn. I cannot believe that he's going to do a V Live, but I will watch it. Just like I watched Taemin's, and I watched him being the master criminal that he is. Taemin's actually quite scary. Like, between him breaking into Key's home and forging every signature for every member of SHINee, like, I wouldn't trust him to be in my house unattended, because he might actually be able to, like, look at your social security number one time and memorize it. So yeah, Taemin, he's not to be fucked with. I really feel like he's got the capacity to be a criminal mastermind. I heard a song. Somebody posted a really stupid tweet, And I heard a song from that stupid tweet, like it was like a response thing, and I thought the song was cool, but I also remember thinking like this song would be even better if it was a better singer, but I still thought the song was cool. So have you guys heard of a group called, I think it's a group, yeah, I think it's a group called ID. Never heard of them. Never heard of them in my lifetime. But they got a song called Ampersand New. I'm calling it Ampersand New on purpose because it's the ampersand and then the word new, which people might call it and new. But if you wanted to be called and new, you should have called it and new. I literally thought this group name was ID and new, but no, it's ID and the song is called and new. Anyway, I found it very interesting because it's an attempt at a kind of retro-y city pop 80s kind of sound, and the production on the song is actually not bad, but the girl who's singing it can't sing, like straight up. Like I'm just listening to it, I'm like, this would be so much better if given to a more capable artist. But if you've never heard it, I will play a very small snippet of it because again, you know how it is, they try to take down my live streams when they hear me playing copyrighted music. I have to be very careful. So I'm just going to turn down my sound because the first thing I'm going to get is probably a commercial. Sure did. First thing I got was a commercial for Muscle Milk. Something I would never use. Next commercial is for chips, Frito-Lay chips. Alright, this is the song playing. Okay. Like I said, it's got that kind of 80s Stranger Things vibe to it. She's just not a good singer. Like, in my opinion, she's not a good singer. But the song has got a nice vibe to it. So if you are more about a vibe than a voice, check it out. ID is spelled EYEDI, all one word. And like I said, the song is called Ampersand New. Yes, I did talk about E-High earlier. So yes, I have heard her teasers. I hope it is good. Have you listened to Yukika? No, I don't think I have. Or maybe I have. You know, I've been listening to a lot of stuff lately that I don't know who I'm listening to. So I might have heard it, but I just didn't realize that I'd heard it before. Turn this down to see if I've heard this before. Oh, no commercial. All right. Longest intro in history. We're already 30 minutes in and there's no song. Oh, this is a song for Mason. This is a song for Mason. This isn't a song for me. I don't like that. Yeah. I was like, before I even read your comment, Mason, I listened to them like, yeah, this is a song for Mason. This is not a song for me. But, you know, that's how it happens sometimes. Sometimes you run across stuff, you're like, ooh, this is so me. And then you run across other stuff, you're like, ooh, this is so not me. I wouldn't want this. Like, there is an artist that me and Mason heard when we were driving through Denver before we came back from the airport when he came to visit me. The artist's name is Somi, and it's Soovi, Somi. And yeah, I really dig them. I've checked out a few of their things on YouTube, and it is absolutely for me. Absolutely for me. But Yukika, not so much. I don't know, man. Like, I like city pop just fine, but I have a feeling that some people enjoy city pop, like newer artists who perform city pop, they enjoy city pop as an excuse to not sound good. And it's like, no. Like, if you listen to, like, authentic city pop, the people who were singing city pop back in the day, they actually sound really good for their time. They are singing like their time. And so if it sounds kind of off key to you now, or if it sounds very affected, it's not because they were bad singers. It's because that's the style of music that came about at that time. And so I don't think it's necessarily fair that younger singers, newer singers, are like, I'm going to do city pop because I don't have a really strong voice, but I can be very stylized. Like that's kind of shitty. I don't like it. How'd you like Naughty? I did talk about Naughty earlier. I said I liked it. I thought it should have been a title track instead of Monster. Not that Monster's bad. I just think that Naughty was stronger. I also think that Naughty sounded like a Tame and B-side. So yeah, I did give my opinions about that. There's so much good music out there though. There's like a lot of really good music to listen to. There's good K-pop to listen to. There's good non-K-pop to listen to. Lots of really good and strong R&B stuff to listen to. So yeah, there's a little niche there for everybody. But I don't know. I feel like the people that are trying to do city pop now, they're just not equipped, and so I would like them to try their hand at something else if they would. All right, give me more topics to talk about. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more. Every time they turn the lights down. That was such a good song. That was actually a really good project. A lot of people, they act like that project was whack. That project was actually a super strong project. It just happened to be that she was under terrible abusive management at the time, and she was going through a really tough time in her life. Not that her current time in her life is not as rough, but still, you know what I'm saying. What's your favorite K-pop song from each year? I don't know what my favorite K-pop song is from 2010. Like, I tried to do that thing where I was doing all the different years, and I can't even remember because I went through what felt like hundreds of songs. So, like, you'd have to give me a list of those songs in order for me to know what my favorite song was of each year. A team of female idols came together to play soccer, and fans freaked out because it would become a sex den of orgies with the male team. What? What? I don't know anything about that, so I don't even have commentary for that. I will just say this. I mean, if they want to, if it's, two groups of beautiful people wanting to get it on, as long as everybody's being protected, like, this is a bad time to host an orgy because of COVID, but outside of the social distancing mandates, I think it's a great time to get it on. I mean, if you're young and beautiful and there's another young and beautiful person who wants to exchange bodily fluids with you and both of you are relatively clean, then let's go. Okay, you have to throw 2 songs from each Shiny project away. What is going in the trash? That should be pretty easy to do. I mean, granted, Shiny has a very long discography, so I feel like if I did Japanese, that'd be really easy. So I'm just going to stick with Korean here, and I'm going to pull up their discography only because I don't want to forget one by accident, because I have a tendency to do so. Also, when we're talking about throwing away 2 songs, I'm going to consider the repackage of an album to be the one we're talking about. I'm not going to go back to the album because, like, you literally only add 2 to 4 songs on a repack, so it doesn't make any sense to do more than that. I'm also not going to do solos, only because, like, I feel like that's not really fair, because again, there's not a ton of solo projects. Like, for instance, Jonghyun had 5 solo projects. Key's only had 1 actual Korean solo project that had a repackage. Onu's only had 1 solo project. Minho hasn't even really had but 1 song, so it doesn't seem fair to do the solos and throw away 2, because in that case Minho would owe us a song. So I'm just gonna go with their discography of Korean stuff. So let's start with Replay, the other song, because there are only 2 songs on Replay. Then if we go to Amigo, which is the repackage of Shiny World, then let's pull up Shiny World and see what we have there. Amigo. I don't know why, I just love saying that. Amigo. Amigo. Okay. Amigo. Actually, I would probably consider throwing away Amigo, because when it plays, it makes my balls shrivel. So I might get rid of that one. It just really depends. No, I'm not going to throw away Replay as well. You're dead wrong about that. I would never. Like, that's something that you would do because you don't understand how amazing that song is. But me, as a person who has taste, I would never do such a thing. Replay is an instant classic. I would have to turn in my Shawwal card if I was to say that I'm foregoing Replay. That makes no sense at all. So probably I would get rid of. Ooh, shit. Um. Okay, so on Amigo this time, I would get rid of Amigo. I would get rid of Amigo, and I would probably get rid of Love Like Oxygen. I'm so ashamed of myself. Why would I do that? I literally just talked about how I talked about Naughty at the beginning of the stream, so I won't be talking about that again. But no, I would get rid of Miko and Love Like Oxygen. I would get rid of Love Like Oxygen because one thing that has always bothered me about Love Like Oxygen, and I know this doesn't bother anybody else, this is strictly just for me, I've always hated the kind of the vocal pattern that Jongin used at the very beginning of Love Like Oxygen. Dun, 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 that kind of Michael Jackson-y sound. Not my favorite. But outside of that, that song, that whole album is fucking gold to me. It's really, really great. And let's see, Lucifer. I'm jumping to Lucifer even though I should be doing Ring Ding Dong. But honestly, like Ring Ding Dong, I would only salvage 2 songs from that project. And that's not me being mean to Shiny. It's the fact that they fucking dumped auto-tune on everything. So yeah, I can't stand that. Like I've talked about it before. 2009 Year of Us would be great if I could get the unmolested versions of those vocals. Like the song You is actually pretty decent. Ring Ding Dong, of course, is a classic. The rest of the album suffers from extreme T-Pain syndrome, and I just can't listen to it. It makes me mad. So let's move on to Lucifer. So Lucifer, if I had to get rid of 2 songs from Lucifer, well, actually, Hello, which is the repackage. This one might actually be easy. I would get rid of Shout Out and probably... I would get rid of Shout Out and probably Wow Wow Wow. Oh, those are probably the 2 songs I would get rid of because there's a lot of songs in here I really, really like. Even though I probably should get rid of Ready or Not. I'll take that back. I'll get rid of Shout Out and Ready or Not. I can live without those 2 songs. Because I actually do kind of like Wow Wow Wow. That came on today earlier and I was like, oh, I remember this, Shiny. So I don't hate that song. I do not like Shout Out at all. I think Shout Out is a terrible fucking song. And that's really sad because it's the only song on the entire album that the credits for the lyrics are Shiny. So that's really mean of me, but that's just the way I feel. And I'm allowed to live my truth. So that's how I feel about that particular project. Next, let's go to Misconceptions of Us. Again, like I said, I'm treating repackages as the whole album, but there are so many fucking songs from those albums that it's kind of really difficult to be like, okay, I'm only picking these or I'm only picking that. So between the 2 albums, I would get rid of Why So Serious. That's immediate. Like if I could get rid of anything in Shiny's discography as a title track or just as a track in general, like Wolf Wolf and Why So Serious, in a heartbeat, get rid of them things. But yeah, if I can get rid of something on the Misconceptions albums, I absolutely would get rid of Why So Serious because I really, really don't like that song. And oh gosh, what's the other song I would get rid of? Maybe Girls, Girls, Girls. Maybe Girls, Girls, Girls. I would get rid of Girls, Girls, Girls only because like it's kind of a weak song to me. Like it's not a bad song. It's just girls, girls, girls. Like it's a weak song. So I would get rid of it just to improve the strength of the overall project. That would be my rationale for that. Everybody. Oh gosh, that one's really hard because that's a mini, and minis are always really hard to get rid of anything for because they're just these little nuggets. So why would you do that? Ooh, I totally skipped over Romeo and Sherlock. Oh my gosh, what kind of shawal are you? So let's go to Romeo. I have to get rid of 2 songs on Romeo. Oh gosh, there's only really 6 songs here. Oh, 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 fuck! I don't want to do this. Oh, 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 I don't want to do this. I guess I'll get rid of Hit Me and Talk to You. That was painful. I didn't like that. That wasn't fun. So that's what I would get rid of on Romeo. Gosh darn it. I didn't want to do that. And then what I would get rid of on Sherlock, again, something I don't want to do because, again, Sherlock is a very short project, so this feels unfair to me. Track listing. Okay, just because I don't feel like dealing with the hassle, I would get rid of Clue and Note because we have Sherlock, which is a combination of both. So I would get rid of Clue and Note. That one's easy. I thought it was going to be harder, but that makes more sense to me. Just get rid of Clue and Note and keep Sherlock. Because for those of you who don't know, Clue and Note, they did a mashup, and that's what Sherlock is. So why not just get rid of the 2 things they mashed together and stick with the final product? Finally, Everybody. 2 songs from Everybody? Again, this is a mini. This feels unfair to me. Fuck. I would get rid of Everybody and Colorful. I hate that I'm getting rid of Everybody because if I get rid of Everybody, that means I get rid of the Everybody video, and the Everybody video is everything. And Colorful also has a really cute video, and over the years I've grown to love that song. However, I really love Symptoms. Like Symptoms, I couldn't get rid of that song if I tried. Baby, come on. Queen of New York, come on. That's key. Like, Queen of New York. And then 1 Minute Back. Have you seen the stages for 1 Minute Back? Like, and it's such an interesting song because it's like about a guy who finds his girlfriend cheating and he wishes he could go back to like the minute before he found out. And then Destination. That's such a fun song. And then Close the Door. Fucking Onu. And it was written by Jinbo, one of my personal favorites. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. So anyway, that was so difficult. I hate you, Mason. That was so terrible. Why would you do this to me? I thought we were friends. Okay, now we're on Odd. The songs I would get rid of from Odd, Woof Woof, first of all, just straight up and down. I would get rid of it forever. Fuck that song. Get out of here. An Ode to You. I think that would be the next song. No. An Encore. That's what I would get rid of. An Ode to You. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, I think it's An Ode to You and Woof Woof. Those are the songs I get rid of. The repack for Married to the Music is fucking gold. Like, Married to the Music added nothing but quality to that whole project. Like, first of all, Married to the Music itself, what a great fucking repack song. Like, it is my favorite Shiny video by far. But yeah, just, I'm married to the music. I love that song. Anyway, Savior, you're my savior, treasure, but cruel. Come on. And then Chocolate, would you be my honey? Would you be my baby? How'd you like that? My new bitch tonight. That's not what he says, but it sounds like my new bitch tonight. And then, of course, my favorite Shiny song, Hold You, is on the repack. Girl, you let me know. Neon. Hold you for a while. Oh, gosh. All day. I love that fucking song. All day. I could listen to that all day. One of One. That's a hard one too. It's hard to get rid of songs on One of One, only because like it was a really well put together album. So like I feel like I'm getting rid of songs just because I have to, not because they deserve to be gotten rid of. So so amazing. And maybe Wish Upon a Star. I think those might be the two songs I get rid of. And then Story of Light. That is also a very hard one as well. Okay, I might would get rid of You and I, because that's not one that I listen to quite a bit on, so I probably would get rid of that one. And okay, I'm gonna say this, don't be mad at me, I would probably get rid of Countless. Countless is not my fave. So yeah, those are probably the two I would get rid of. But other than that, like actually Story of Light is a lot stronger than people give it credit for. Best song on that album is still Lock You Down. So those are my choices for shiny Korean tracks that if I had to get rid of them and never have them in the discography, I would have to just live my life that way. I could do that because like Countless is honestly kind of a boring song. So those are my choices. All right. If I could only listen to Rain's discography or Shiny's for the rest of my life, which would you choose? That's easy, Shiny. I don't even have to think twice about that. Number one, Rain's discography is much shorter than Shiny's, so I mean, I would be a fool to abandon the catalog that Shiny gives me. I would have a lot more songs to listen to. But also, Rain has some projects that are really, really good, and then he has some projects that are really, really iffy, and I just feel like I get more quality. Like, percentage-wise, I get more quality with Shiny. So that was a really easy question to ask, to answer. It wouldn't be any problem at all. Give me more things to talk about. I'm willing to talk about anything. I will talk about the fact that I am slowly getting out of appreciating the taste of peanut butter. It's a weird thing that's going on with me. Like, my taste buds are changing constantly, and I just realized, like, I don't like peanut butter candy anymore. I like peanut butter when it's used in a savory context, like peanut butter on, like, Asian noodles, but I'm just finding more and more I'm not a big fan of, like, peanut butter desserts or peanut butter candies, and I used to love them. Real talk, I don't like Reese's Cups anymore. I used to, but I don't. They're just not for me. And I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just can't handle them. I think it's just peanut butter. I think it's just sweet peanut butter. It just doesn't do it for me. But there's, like, a thing about, like, when they use peanuts and peanut butter to make, like, Thai noodles and stuff. I really like that. What is the next group you think they will try to push in America? Well, we're still waiting for them to push G-Idol into America. I feel like that's going to happen. So waiting to see what that looks like. I also feel like Stray Kids is going to eventually get that American push. I don't know for sure, but it just feels like that's going to happen. But they need to push another girl group into America. And if SM could get their shit together, they could make a girl supergroup to carry on to America, but it's not going to happen anytime soon because SM doesn't know what the fuck to do with girls anymore. Do you like Nutella? I do like Nutella, but Nutella has a very different flavor and texture than peanut butter has. Peanut butter has a much drier texture than Nutella does. Also, Nutella's got the chocolate added to it, and hazelnut is just a different flavor than peanut. Like, hazelnut is, they don't have peanut flavored coffee, but they have hazelnut flavored coffee, if that gives you any indication of the flavor profile difference. So there you go. Did you listen to EXO SC's comeback? No, I did not. I did not at all, because I have no interest in Sehun and Chanyeol as a duo. I just don't. I don't think either of them have a vocal quality that I can appreciate, and I don't appreciate them as rappers until they're in an EXO context. Like, my favorite rapping moment from EXO is the rap moments from some of their biggest songs as a group. So, like, the rap moment from Call Me Baby, and the rap moment from Overdose, and the rap moment from Gravity. But outside of that, I don't appreciate either of those two individuals as solo or duo singers, so I would never listen to them in that context. But that doesn't mean that they had a bad project. I just would never listen to it. I didn't listen to their last one either. I had no interest in it. I think it played one time on Spotify when I was listening to, like, the K-pop Daebak playlist, and it didn't do anything for me. I skipped over it. But, you know, I wish them the best. I really, really do. I think it is very ambitious to call your project 1 billion views, unless they're referring to the fact that like the group as a whole has obtained 1 billion views. In that case, like that is facts. But if you're talking about like we anticipate we're going to get 1 billion views, that is a lofty fucking goal. That is like really up here with the confidence level. So we'll see what happens. Anything else you want to ask me? Want to talk about? Want to get into? Want to dive into? I'm willing to do so. I could talk about Jeffree Star, worst apology in the world. I have refrained from watching his apology on his channel because I don't want to give him the views. But I've watched segments of it on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of people discuss it and analysis of it. And basically, he had an attorney draft a PR statement for him, and he read it out loud, and that's all that is. And he turned off the comments because he knew he was wrong for that. What TV series have you been watching lately? All I watch is Boys Love. It's so funny because when Mason was here, he's like, what do you watch? What TV? I'm like, no, I don't own a television. I don't watch TV series. All I watch is YouTube, or I watch stuff on Viki. And when I watch stuff on Viki, I'm watching Boys Love. I'm not that girl. Sorry. But Boys Love I'm currently watching a show called Game Boys. Everyone should watch that show. It's so awesome. Okay, so I know there's a lot of you that the minute I say Boys Love, you're like, I'm out of here, bitch. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss it. That's not my ministry. I get that. However, let's set aside our Boys Love ears for a minute, and let's just talk about the state of the world that we're in currently. Everyone on the planet, for the most part, has been affected by COVID. And because of it, every country is kind of experiencing different levels of shutdown, isolation, lockdown, the like. And the show Game Boys is a Filipino show that it's a very short show. Like I think each episode is like 15 or 20 minutes. But it takes place in the Philippines during COVID lockdown, and these two young people meet online and they establish a relationship via Zoom, FaceTiming, Facebook, sending people stuff in the mail, that kind of thing. Like they've never met in person, and they're not in a position where they can meet each other in person. And it's about like how to navigate relationships in a time when you can't be close to somebody. And you know, that is something that personally I find to be very topical. And I think that if you take the Boys Love aspect away from it, is something that I feel like a lot of people would be interested in seeing. Like, you know, I don't know about you, but I have felt lonely because of COVID, and I would love to have somebody in my social sphere that I could see physically on a regular basis. Because like my daughter's not around, so like I'm by myself after I get off work. But I can't be out here going on dates. That's not really something that can happen right now. And I don't spend time at different people's homes because bouncing from house to house and all the people that those people in that household have come in contact with, you come in contact with, it's just not safe. And so I'm kind of lonely. And me doing lives like this is a way for me to connect with people. And I think that's what a lot of us are doing right now, is we are finding a way to make communities and get support via FaceTiming, vlogs, Zoom, Skype, Insta Lives, whatever it takes. We're finding ways to get together without being able to physically get together. So I think watching a show that discusses like not only how we're maintaining relationships over SNS, but also like how to start a relationship over an SNS. Like, who do you trust? We've spent years telling ourselves, don't trust the people you meet on the internet because they're all out to harm you. So, you know, especially for a woman, dating advice for us is like, you can't trust a guy's social media presence because they're probably lying, and it's dangerous to meet people, and you know, if they ask you for money, that's a clue to run, all this kind of stuff. So like, seriously, how do you take someone seriously who you not only never met, but there's a good chance you're never going to meet for a really long time because of the state of the world? So for that reason alone, I recommend Game Boys if you can get over the fact that, again, it is a BL show. But, the premise itself is really good. Also, I don't want to give away a spoiler, so I can't talk about another thing that I'd really love to talk about right now. But it is mentioned in the show, and it is something that I've thought about a lot recently. So, I guess. My friend just started dating with this guy online, but they did meet 6 feet away and playing hangman. That is so odd to me. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like, that'd be so odd. Like, hey, how's it going? You stand over there. What's the next letter you chose? Oh, okay. Like, it just feels weird to me. But if it works, it works. But it is very difficult, and can we talk about like just the stupid shit people are doing because of these fucking masks? Okay, so you and I were talking together. We know about masks from a long time ago because our K-pop idols have been wearing masks since I feel like the beginning of time. At the airport they're wearing a mask. When they're out about the town, they don't want anybody to see their face. They wear a mask. It's just a thing. They wear masks. Here in America, people are losing their fucking minds about wearing masks. People don't want to be told to put a mask on. You have to put signs all over the place reminding people to put their masks on. I have the coworker I went to lunch with today. I didn't see her mask, and I keep masks in my glove compartment. So I'm like, hey, do you need a mask? Because I have several. She's like, no, I have a mask in my purse. And she says, I don't put mine on until I get inside the building. And it's like, why are you waiting until you get inside the building to put on a mask? But I didn't say that. Instead, I said, oh, I put mine on ahead of time because almost every place you go has a sign saying to put it on before you come in. And so we left it at that. But it's just like, again, it's not a big deal. It's just putting on a mask. That's all it is. It's just putting on a mask. And we don't have to leave it on for hours at a time. Like, literally, we're going into Jersey Mike's to get this sandwich, and then we're getting out. This is maybe a 15-minute transaction at most. But it's going to be quick because it's a fucking sandwich shop. It doesn't take that much. But for some reason, like, it is a thing, and people are going fucking buck wild out here behind these masks. I saw some article about some woman who pissed in a Verizon store because they made her wear a mask. And listen, there are a lot of things that I will do in this lifetime to express my anger, but if you really think I'm about to get half naked and going to urinate in somebody's space because I'm angry, you don't know me. You don't know me at all. You would have to have done something so dog dirty to me that like the next step is murder. That's where you'd have to get me to drop trowel and pee in full view of people in a public space. I don't see what other situation would cause me to do that. Definitely not over no fucking face mask. It's so, and I don't mind people. I think it's dumb when people say stupid things, but people in the United States have been killed over not wearing face masks. Real talk, people have been killed over it. People have been shot at. People have been threatened. People have urinated. People have gotten into fist fights. The police have had to be called. Like, all of this crazy shit has been happening over face masks. And I just don't get it. I really don't get it. It boggles the mind. It literally boggles the mind. Yeah, I saw that lady. That lady was crazy. Like, that lady in Target that knocked over that display, when the police showed up to her house, she's like, I'm a secret agent with QAnon, and I talk to Donald Trump every day, and you're just arresting me because I'm Jewish. Like, these are all things she said during the Facebook Live that she took when the police came to her house to arrest her for vandalism at the Target. It is like anybody who has a mental health issue, it is being exacerbated by the situation. And those people who are like always slightly borderline in terms of like, do they or don't they have an issue? they are over the line now. Like, they have just really gone off the fucking deep end. And I don't understand why y'all are like that. And like, what's even more ironic is that the lady that I went to lunch with, who did not want to wear a mask until she got into the building, she has asthma. You would think if you have a predisposed breathing problem, you might want to mask up. Just not saying, just saying. But again, you can't tell people what to do. People are going to do what they're going to do. And that is the reason why I am trying to encourage my daughter to do everything she can to get the fuck up out of here. Don't die in America. Don't. I'm going to have to, because I don't have any skills to get me the hell out of here. But I hope that she doesn't die in America, because she doesn't deserve. She deserves better in this lifetime. Like, I have been literally on YouTube talking about this for like almost 6 years now. If anybody has a Canadian uncle who is halfway decent and is looking for a wife, hit me up. I would be great. I would be so wonderful. I would be an asset to your family. I make a decent potato salad. Like, already, I'm giving you my qualifications here. But I'm trying to get up out of here. So if anybody would like to, adopt me, if anybody would like to marry me out of this country, I'm here for it. My child is here for it. Like, I'm not asking you to be a sugar daddy. I'm willing to work if I can find employment in your country. I just need to get the hell out of here. I got to get the hell out of here, because it's getting insane to the point that it is scary. So my daughter has to go back to school when school begins, because the options are either go to school or do online school, but online school is through a whole other service, not connected to the high school that she goes to, and it won't be with any of the teachers that she currently is instructed with. And so, yeah, it's going back to school, or you don't get to be in classes with any of the teachers that you've been working with this whole time. So we're going back to school. But the school is not really doing big things. They're not lowering the number of students in the classroom. The desks aren't being spaced out to encourage social distancing. They're planning on doing staggered scheduling for some of the classes, but outside of that, that's really all that they have set up. And they're going to ask the students to wear masks in the hallways and masks in the classrooms, except for where it might impair the learning experience. So, yeah, I'm worried for her. I'm absolutely worried for her. But I also plan to arm her with every tool that I've got. I'm going to get her masked up. She's going to have hand sanitizer spray. But yeah, it's ridiculous that they're going to open up these schools and they're not making any kind of accommodation for opening up these schools. My hope is that half the students don't come back. And I know that's a shitty thing to say, but my hope is that half of the students don't go back to the school this year, and that allows them to social distance in the classroom. Because here's the thing. For my daughter, she's smart. She's really smart, but she needs social interaction, because that's the one area that she kind of struggles in. And if there were Zoom classrooms and like Zoom conversation times and stuff like that, I would probably feel better for her to be at home. I'd be like, okay, you can do it online. You'll be fine because you're in class with other people and there's that interaction, and maybe, you have the opportunity to talk to some other people in class and whatever. Not that you really can do a lot of that in Zoom, but you can do a little bit of it. But that's not what online school would be for her. Online school would be completely self-study, isolated, no social interaction at all. And my daughter needs that, because I'm at work and I work away from the house now. So it would be very difficult for her to just be at home all day, 24/7, every single day. But outside of her case, in terms of just like the social interaction, there are students who they have to go to school because that's where they eat. And it's something that, America doesn't like to share with the rest of the world, so they don't talk about it a lot. But there are a lot of kids who come from homes where the only meal that they get is the meal that they get at school. And they need to go to school so that they can eat breakfast and they can eat lunch. And if the school doesn't reopen, they don't get the federal money and the state money that they need to operate. And that money is also what fuels the free lunch programs. And so these kids don't have access to food. So it's a shitty situation all around. It really is. And then also, you know, if you're a kid who comes from a background that has income disparity, then you probably also have parents who work all day long. And having your kid in school is a form of free childcare. And childcare is wild expensive here in America. And so these parents need their kids to be in school. And just the whole thing is very difficult. I mean, I've been there. When Stephanie finally got out of like daycare and went to school, I was like, hallelujah. Because at the point that Stephanie was still in daycare right before she got out of daycare, I was paying $120 a week for her to go to daycare. Take that over 4 weeks, that's $480 a month. And I was a single parent. That was a lot of money for me. So yeah, I understand where they're coming from. Absolutely. They need their kids to be in school, but school also needs to be a safe environment. And how do you make that happen if you're not taking precautions to create smaller classrooms and better social distancing and all the other things you need to in order for people to be able to be in these buildings? And then these buildings need to be disinfected every single night, and it's not going to happen. So we'll see. Thoughts on GOT7 fans demanding fair treatment from JYP. Lately, the fans have been fundraising to promote each comeback and their last world tour back in 2019. I think I've been very clear over the last several years that I don't see it for GOT7. So I can't really talk about their fans and them petitioning the company to do better for GOT7 because I don't personally see it for GOT7, to be honest with you. I also will say that not touring since 2019, who is touring? I mean, just to be really honest with you, who is touring? Now, if GOT7 is trying to convince JYP to let them do an online concert experience, that's one thing. Because maybe they've got fans who are willing to pay, and like, we're missing out on money not being able to do one of these online concerts like Super M and like BTS and all this other. But if we're talking about like physical touring, again, who the fuck is going to a concert in COVID? No, nobody, no one, no sir. So that I don't understand being upset about, because if that's the case, all of us are upset. Speaking of which, I'm not going to be going to Monsta X for their rescheduled concert dates. It just falls in a time where I have a lot of meetings and I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So I won't be able to give you my thoughts from the Monsta X concert. Also, to be very real with you, they have not asked anybody to turn in their tickets in order to create a social distancing environment. And if they're in the same place that I went to see Ariana Grande, you are touching skins with the people next to you if you're a fat bitch like me. And I don't feel safe in that kind of environment. To tell you the God's honest truth, I feel like it's not good for my health. It's not good for the health of the people I'm in the room with. And I don't know that I could stay in a concert the whole time in a mask, because I'm not a person who sits in their seat like this to enjoy a concert. I like to move. I like to sing. I like to dance. I like to yell. I get hot from overexertion. So this would be something that could possibly have me passing the hell out. So it's just not going to happen for me. GOT7 music is not it. No, the company didn't promote their last tour until a week before it started. Well, that's K-pop. Like, I'm not even going to act like, again, I don't really see it for GOT7, so I can't go through the list of crimes and be like, and these are the ways that they were wronged. But, I mean, as a fan of Korean acts that come to the United States, the notice you get is, if you get a month, you are lucky, because they just don't give you good notice. And like some of the huger acts, they'll give you a bit more notice because they know that they've got like arenas to fill, so they need the time. But for the ones who are going to theaters and maybe club appearances and stuff like that, yeah, the promotion cycle is fucking ridiculous. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. Is it right? No, I can say that for sure. It's not right. But is it what these companies do? Yes, routinely. Routinely. They just really under promote things. And I think that doesn't have as much to do with like unfairness to the groups as it is unfairness to international fans. Like, when you think about how they promote stuff in Korea, giving a week's notice in Korea is fine because a person living in Korea can drive to most spots in Korea to go to a concert. In America, if you're coming to the United States, and I live not in Texas, not on the upper East Coast, or not in California, specifically not in Southern California, I've got to do some traveling to get to you. And by traveling, I'm talking about boarding an airplane, possibly getting a hotel room, maybe securing ground transportation. So to do all that, I need more than a week. I need preferably 3 months. But yeah, a month minimum just to get a decent plane ticket fee, just to be able to book a halfway decent motel room. And a lot of times these companies just don't give the attention to that. So you're saying, according to financial reports, GOT7 sell and make just as much money as Twice, but the company just doesn't promote them. I just don't get it. I have no way of knowing if that's true or not because, again, I don't really pay attention to the financial statements for Twice or GOT7. I think that definitely when it comes to GOT7, I don't think they're as popular in Korea, but I think that they do really well internationally, especially with the Chinese market and the Thai market being very invested in GOT7. Like, that is one of the smartest things that JYP ever did in his life, was like, I'm going to get somebody from China and I'm going to get somebody from Thailand and I'm going to make this thing happen. Because those are two countries that if you pluck an idol from them, they are supporting your team hardcore, big heavy. So yeah, I mean, that could very well be it. But outside of that, I'm not invested in GOT7, so I feel like I'm not the one to give an accurate opinion because I don't know enough about them. I have enjoyed their last couple of singles, have not been interested enough in the singles to listen to the albums. Speaking of Monsta X, what do you think Guano's sound will be when he debuts? Do you think it will be different? I have no clue. Like, I've actually thought about this question before, like, what do I expect Guano's comeback to sound like? I expect him to do kind of a mixture between like a Kang Danielle and maybe a Leo type of project, but I really have no idea. Honestly, if I was managing Wonho, his comeback would actually just be a photo book, much akin to the Shinhwa photo book Wild, where it's just him in nature naked. That's what I would do personally, but that's also me objectifying Wonho, and so like giving a real answer in terms of like music wise, have no clue. But the thirst in me is saying like, let's just go with naked photo book. I think that it would sell very well. I think the public would be very receptive to it. I think that we could really push a lot of units. I want Taemin to return soon, but he got injured. Yes, he did. He had a wrist injury, I believe. So that's pushed him back. But I mean, Ona's home, so good for him. He gets to take a little bit of a vacation while he's recovering. So that's nice that, he's not having to promote while his bandmate is back. But I really hope that Taemin's project has something different. I was listening to Want recently, and it's not a very strong project. It's a good project in terms of like, there are some songs on there that I really like. I think Thirsty should have been the title song instead of Want, but it's not strong in terms of like standing up on its own. When you listen to Ace and then you listen to Press It, those projects sound very, very different. And then you listen to the Moving album, and it sounds very, very different. So each of those projects kind of stands out on its own as markers of his musical progression. Then you listen to Want, and it just feels like Moving Part 2. And that's not what I'm looking for from Taman. I'm looking for more growth. I'm looking for him to do something different. I don't necessarily know what that different is, but I kind of just want him to move around because that's what Shiny's been known for, and that's kind of what he's been known for. So why aren't we moving around? Why aren't we doing more different stuff? But yeah, I would like to see it. I would like to see something different. I would like to see Taman really go dance heavy. I would like to really see Taman like go back to Shiny's deep house era and like really put out that house album. Because house is a really difficult style to dance to, but I think if anybody could pull off the choreography, it could be him. So that would be very interesting. I would also like to see him do something with maybe some Afrobeat background to it. Just like the rhythm, not necessarily, don't do reggae hair or any of that kind of shit, but maybe pull some rhythms from other places. Yeah, that's kind of what I'd like to see for Taman. Taman has such a odd voice though that it is very difficult to kind of find things that suit him, which is why that style has been kind of his go-to, because he has a very breathy high voice when he's singing, and that kind of I'm whispering to you in our sixth dungeon. That style works for him. But we'll see. No, Ante will not be a subunit. If Ante is a subunit, I'd be very surprised, because I think what Ante being a subunit would do for Shiny as a group would indicate that those are the only two people that are needed to create Shiny sound at this time. And that's not true. Like, he is very much needed. So I don't think that's a good look for them to try to do an Ante subunit, but there's probably a market out there for it. I would buy it just because I'm a simp for Shiny. I would do whatever they tell me to do, but I still don't think that's a good idea. Speaking of JYP, they have a contest going on for fans to submit comeback concepts for their favorite artists. I appreciate that, JYP, but also I'm not doing free labor for you. Fuck out of here. If you'd like to pay me, that'd be awesome. But I mean, what are we talking about monetary wise here? And like, if I submit a concept and it doesn't win the contest for like the next comeback for that group, but then you use it in 2 comebacks later, or if you debut a new group and then they use that concept, or you use it for a group that I didn't suggest it for, am I getting any money for this? Probably not. So yeah, telling your fans to do this kind of work, that's kind of stupid. It's kind of a way to get free labor. It's like Jay from Day 6 was looking for a logo, and he asked the fans to submit their logo ideas to him, and apparently he chose like 2 or 3 different fan ideas, and he's going to take those ideas to a professional designer to get a logo made. And a professional graphic artist like, hey, this is not really fair. And some of the points that person was making I thought was really dumb, but one of the points they made was like, this is something that professionals do. You're asking people to do the job of a professional. And so rather than asking your fans to do the job of a professional, just hire a professional, talk with them, throw some ideas back and forth, and then employ them. Because it sounds like that's what you're going to do anyway, but you're doing the vetting process through your fans, and then you're going to the professional saying, here, give me something like this. Instead of spending the time and paying for the hours to come up with something that you and the designer both agreed to. So, I don't know. I don't feel great about that. Also, like, I give my opinions for free on here. If you really want to hear fans' ideas, just watch some videos, because I'm not the only person in the room who's talking about what they'd like to see from their favorite artist. I don't know a lot of people on YouTube who do what I do. That sounded super vain and super, like, aggrandizing. What I mean is, I don't know a lot of people in K-pop YouTube who don't unbox and don't do reactions and just spends their time talking about K-pop, but also has absolutely no editing skills. That I don't know about. There are people who just talk about K-pop for sure. Like there's that one guy who's like, what happened to whatever group, and then there's DKDKTV, and there's a lot of these people who put like graphic skills and they'll tell you about the latest news stories. There's all that. But like, are there a lot of people who just get in front of their camera and just talk shit on a regular basis based on no facts or anything, just like whatever comes off the top of their head? I think the Black Nuna Speaks is one of the only ones. A lot of the other people who used to do that, they don't really do it anymore. So I'm in a very unique space. Well, I mean, there's Jade, but she has editing skills because she has intros and outros and I don't. But yeah, there's not a lot of people who like really just sit on here and talk about like what concepts they'd like to see and things that they hated and just whatever. Or maybe there are, but they're like me. They're really small channels, so I haven't found them. So if you've got some recommendations on some K-pop channels you think I need to be checking out, put them in the comments section, because I'm looking for new content. I'm looking for new people to subscribe to. Absolutely. So, you know, drop the mats. Let me know what's up. But yeah, I think if they were really serious about trying to find new concepts for their groups, there's so many avenues for finding that out. Like, fuck, you know where they could find concepts at if they're really desperate for concepts? Just type in whatever group it is that JYP is trying to find a concept for, and then put the hashtag fan art behind it. Because there are so many fan artists out there who make up concepts for groups that they love, that if they're just really intent on ripping somebody off for their free labor, there you fucking go. Also, if you go to AO3, if you go to Asian Fanfics, fucking Wattpad, there are so many stories that are set up in AUs. Go on Twitter, there's a lot of Twitter fanfics where people give you like, this group but as werewolves, this group but as vampires, this group but as babies, like, you know, all of that shit. So if you really are invested in trying to come up with something new, it's all out there anyway. Why are you trying to cut out the work? Why are you trying to like not employ people to do this? You got money, you could do this. But yeah, there's ways to get around it besides doing this cheap tactic. All right, anybody else got anything they want to talk about? I did not intend for me to be talking about this much K-pop. I really thought we were going to be talking about our favorite lotions, but I digress. Speaking of which, I went to a mall on Friday. I know, you're shaking your heads at me. How could you do something so irresponsible? Let me tell you what happened. So every year in July, I always go to Bath & Body Works because I always buy like my 6-month supply of body wash and lotion. I'm a cheap person and I really like Bath & Body Works body wash because it doesn't leave my tub greasy when I bathe with it, and I like to get it during the semi-annual sale because it's half price normally, and usually if I have a coupon I'll use that and then I'll really get a deal, right? So the Bath & Body Works that I normally go to near my home is closed because the mall that Bath & Body Works is in is closed. And then there is a Bath & Body Works that's in an outdoor mall that I went to, and their clearance section was very limited because they're the bougie Bath & Body Works, and so they didn't want to have too much sale stuff available. So the town that's about 40 miles away from me, they had a Bath & Body Works that's open, and that town is not bougie at all. It doesn't have any nice parts to it, and their store was open. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to drive down here and I'm going to go to the store. I turned the corner after using the GPS and I realized the store I'm going to is inside of a mall. And I'm like, okay, the website to Bath & Body Works said that this store is open. So this mall must be open. Also, there's a bunch of cars in the parking lot. This mall must be open. So I go to the mall and sure enough, the doors are unlocked. It's open. They have hand sanitizers at the door. They have signs saying you must wear a face mask to be in the mall. The mall is not super crowded because malls nowadays really just aren't super crowded, if you know what I mean. Go to the Bath & Body Works. They have a 6-foot spacer line in front of the store. They have somebody in front of the store counting people going in and counting people going out. instead of giving you that kind of nylon reusable bag to go shopping with, they give you the paper bags for you to put your products in, and then they have the 6 feet spacers on the way to the cash register for you to check out. And I got my haul of Bath and Body Works. I got a ton of Bath and Body Works stuff. Like I bought about $100 worth of Bath and Body Works stuff. And I know that you're looking at me like, quit bragging. I'm not bragging. When I bought my stuff, I buy for myself, I buy for my daughter, and I also buy from my mom. So I bought a lot, but it's 6 months worth of Bath and Body Works supplies for 3 grown women. Well, practically grown women bodies practically. So yeah, it's actually a savings when you turn that over 6 months. It's really not that bad. But yeah, I did that. So yeah, I went to a mall. It was a really weird experience, but I did that. I also bought a pair of acid wash denim Vans, and they're very super cute, so I can't wait to wear them. But that was my mall experience. I have like 6 bottles of bath wash from Bath and Body Works I got during sale last fall. See, I'm not the only person. You go there and you load up on shit, and then you take it home, and you're like, when the time comes, I'm going to just have this here, and I'm not going to have to go buy it. Because I personally can't justify in my mind paying for $13 or $14 for a bottle of body wash that's yay big. So okay. Ugh. Right here is a bottle of lotion from Bath and Body Works. This is Coco, Shea, honey, 24-hour moisture body lotion. It's got cocoa butter, shea butter, and pure honey. This is 7.5 ounces. The body washes that I normally buy are 8 ounces, I think. And so they're around this size. They're not much bigger than this. I, in no way, shape, or form, feel like I would be comfortable paying $14 for a body wash that's not even as big as my hand. So if I can get it for 50% off, if I can get it for, freaking 70% off, which a few of the things I got were 75% off, that I can handle. And so that's the reason why I load up, because it's quality ingredients. It just happens to be supremely overpriced. Like this bottle of lotion here, original price was $13.50. Fuck out of here. What is your favorite scent from them? Well, during semi-annual season, my favorite scent is whatever's on sale. Like, real talk. My favorite scent is whatever happens to be on the clearance rack. I don't have a scent that I go in there looking for. But if I were to talk about what my favorite scents in general are when it comes to Bath and Body Works products, I tend to go for things that either smell clean, or things that smell floral, or things that smell like cocoa. Not cocoa like chocolate, but cocoa like cocoa butter, shea butter, that kind of slightly vanilla-esque, but not vanilla candy smell, but more like vanilla bean, natural, warm. That's the scent that I normally go for. Clean, I like stuff that smells like linen. I love stuff that smells like outdoors, fresh, breezy. And then florals, I really love the scent of iris. It's one of my favorite body scents in the world. I also like the smell of lilies, and I've recently gotten a big appreciation for the scent of rose. I didn't used to like rose when I was younger. When I was younger, honestly, the only stuff I wore was stuff that smelled like food. Now I can really appreciate rose. But when I was younger, I wanted green apple, I wanted fruit, strawberry, I wanted all the things that smelled like Kool-Aid packets, basically. And now that I'm older, I can't do that. Are you a candle person? I do like candles. I do. I used to have a wax warmer that destroyed my house, so I don't really use wax warmers anymore, but I still like candles, even though recently I have really come to like incense sticks. I don't know what it is about incense sticks, because sometimes the scent can be a little overwhelming. I burned an incense stick one day that I was like, whew, my house feels like I might need to open a window. And it was just one stick. And it wasn't like I had been burning them continuously. I had lit one up early in the day. And as it was burning, I'm like, whew, okay, all right. But I really like incense sticks, but candles are a go-to fave. I don't buy a ton of candles, because I usually will buy like a huge candle and burn it till it burns out. One of the things I really love is in the wintertime, I like to light a candle and then turn the lights off in the living room and just have like the candlelight going on. So yeah. Um, so Kiara says, but I also love coconut scented things. I literally have coconut lotion, body wash, candles, dish soap, shampoo, conditioner. You can get anything coconut scented and I will love it. Well, then you need to be checking out the Bath and Body Works sale right now because their entire line of coconut stuff that they did in, I guess, the fall went on sale. So they have this line of coconut stuff that's like pure coconut, coconut hibiscus, coconut palm, and coconut pineapple. And that whole line of coconut is on sale right now, 50 off. So if you like coconut, you'll love that. Tay says, I have a candle that smells like fresh laundry, LOL. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I love candles. I had a candle that I used to burn that smelled like Johnson & Johnson's baby oil. That's a really random scent for a candle, but the minute I smell it, I'm like, oh my God, it smells like baby oil. And I had to have it. And I don't know why, because I mean, I don't use baby oil because it's so oily, but I just really, really liked it. And so that's what I had. And I just put that lotion on my hand. My hand smells so good right now. It smells like really good shampoo. I don't know how to describe that scent, but yeah, it smells like really good moisturizing shampoo. So random. So random. Other things that I tend to splurge on. I'm not a big shopper. Honestly, I'm not a big shopper. Okay. I don't shop frequently. When I do shop, I can shop for hours. But I don't shop frequently. And when I say shop for hours, I mean I can go from store to store for hours and come out with like very few things because I like to look at everything and think about the prices and think about like how does this fit in with the rest of my home and then purchase stuff. But I am not a big shopper in terms of buying stuff frequently. But the things that I find myself buying the most when it comes to like frequent purchases, K-pop is one of them. Obviously, I buy a ton of K-pop. Other things I buy in excess, I love scented things, so candles, deodorant, lotions, body wash, perfume. I don't buy perfume super frequently. I buy perfume probably 2 to 3 times a year. But I know a lot of people don't buy perfume that frequently, and I buy perfume. I do not buy body spray. I know a lot of people are really fond of like the alcohol laced body sprays, and they're really quick and they can do it all over. I find that stuff wears off halfway through the day, and I'm not one to carry a body spray on me to like keep refreshing myself. So I wear perfume because I can put perfume on in the morning and I can smell the perfume when I come home at night. So I go for eau de parfum, and I happen to buy my parfum from Fragrance Net. I find that their prices are very, very reasonable, and I buy, different perfumes. I buy Juicy Couture, I buy Burberry, I buy what was the last one? I buy Versace. I bought Versace Yellow Crystal not that long ago. Smells awesome. So that's what I tend to do with frequent purchases. I love buying scented things. When it comes to clothing shopping, I'm a real cheapskate when it comes to shoes, so I don't buy shoes very frequently at all. Like, I buy shoes when another pair of shoes falls apart. I'm like, okay, time to buy some more shoes. But I have a very strong addiction to Torrid. I'm a bigger person, and Torrid is my go-to shop when it comes to like they have a sale, let me check it out. I buy a lot of stuff from Torrid, and it's not just me. I buy stuff for my daughter from Torrid as well because both of us can fit in Torrid. But they had a sale recently, and I bought Mickey Mouse overalls and a Mickey Mouse midi skirt. I know. I should be ashamed of myself. I am 40 years old buying Mickey Mouse clothes. But to be fair, they are very classy Mickey Mouse clothes. And also, it's my money. I do what the fuck I want. But yeah, I did that recently. I bought Mickey Mouse overalls and Mickey Mouse skirts. And I plan to wear the shit out of that stuff too. Nicki Minaj is pregnant. Good for her. I mean, she's married. Kiara says, I impulse buy cups. Am I the only one? I buy so many teacups, coffee cups. Like I have a collection of thermoses and the clear cup idols usually sell with their unique designs. I don't impulse buy cups anymore. I used to be a big coffee cup person. Like I would find myself in Tuesday Morning or other shops going straight to the cup section because I love coffee cups, but I ran out of room. And when I ran out of room, I'm like, okay, I have to throw something away in order to buy more. And I love the cups that I have. So since I wasn't about to throw them away, I couldn't buy any more. So that's what stopped me from buying cups. But I have an addiction to storage containers. I love a good like glass storage container to put like your lunch for work or something in. I've had to stop because I've run out of room, but there was a while there where I was buying glass little reusable containers quite a bit. Tay says, I've been splurging on my cats this week. Recently, I bought them a new cat tree condo. They're my babies. Well, you know, why not? If I had a pet, I'd probably spoil them too. Kiara says, I always shop at Ross, Home Goods, and our local antique shop for cups and plates and other kitchen supplies. I do too. I shop at Ross. I shop at Home Goods. I shop at TJ Maxx. I shop at Tuesday Mornings, which is vastly underrated. A lot of people don't shop there. I shop at Goodwill. Because, I mean, a porcelain cup at the Goodwill, take it home, clean it in a little bleach water, it's ready to go, ready to be used. So there you go. That's a key. If you tip for young people, I don't know how many of you young people are getting ready to move out of apartments, getting ready to move into your first place, and you're like, how do I start my house? How do I make this thing happen? I am on a limited budget. Goodwill is your friend. I would not go to Goodwill to buy fabric items, except for like maybe sheets. I would buy sheets at Goodwill, but then I would immediately clean them in like bleach and detergent before I ever put them on my stuff. But Goodwill is the absolute best place in the world to buy plates, bowls, cups, certain pans. Goodwill is the kitchen hookup for the shit that you would pay an arm and a leg for in a store. Like you can go to Goodwill and you can get an entire dish set for around 10 to 15 bucks. Whereas if you go to the store, you are going to pay twice, maybe 3 times as much. When I got my first apartment, me and my ex-husband, when we moved in, I'm like, okay, well, we need this, that, and the third. I went to Goodwill and I got a set of Pier 1 plates and bowls that I am still using to this day. And I bought them before my daughter was even conceived. And yeah, bought them at the Goodwill. Super duper cheap. So that is my pro tip. If you're looking for cups and plates and saucers and all those kind of things that are easily washable in like the dishwasher, go to the Goodwill. See what they have. I even have a food processor I got from Goodwill. It's the place to be. I go crazy when chapters put their notebooks on sale. I know a lot of people who are stationery junkies. A lot of people. And I'm not even gonna lie, stationery sometimes catches my eye. I was in Target, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was in Target yesterday because I needed some toothpaste and some deodorant and some razor refills, and they happen to have all their school supplies out right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna walk through here and see what they have. And I bought this notebook, and I think you can tell from the color, from the style, why I bought it. This is the same company, Green Room, that I have my shiny photo card binders from, so this actually matches those. But I bought this notebook because I needed to keep some notes on me and Mason's vlogs show that we do. So if you go to Mason's channel, BL_Kiki, because he changed his channel name recently. If you go to BL_KIKI, you can watch me and Mason talk about boys love until the cows come home. And I always do an Instagram of the week whenever I do our show. And I wanted to have a notebook to write down all of my different Instagrams of the week so that I don't ever repeat one. And I saw this and I loved it, and that's why I bought it. So I totally get the people who are stationary junkies. What I don't understand are the people who spend like crazy amounts of money on one single pen. That I couldn't do. Meg says, I used to buy everything with birds on it. I bought a broken ceramic bird at Kirkland's because I was sad thinking it would sit there with no one wanting it. My home is just birds and lighthouses, LOL. That's funny to me that you're like, oh, but look at it, it's broken. No one will want to give it a home. It's like, this is literally an inanimate object. Girl, stop. But I get it too, so I'm not going to be mad at you, but that's just so funny to me. I don't have any motifs that I'm super addicted to, even though the older I get, the more I literally want an all pearl aqua greenhouse. Like, straight up. Every time I see Shiny's colors, I'm like, that would be cute for me. That would be really, I mean, literally, when I see Shiny's colors, I think that would be cute for me. And yeah, the older I get, the more I'm like, I wouldn't mind to have a shiny colored couch. I wouldn't mind to have shiny colored pillows. I wouldn't mind to have the shiny colored blanket. I really like Shiny's color quite a bit. So, feel you on that one. Tay says, my kitchen's decorated in things I bought at Goodwill. Because you're smart. Because you're smart. Yeah, Goodwill is excellent. Like, I highly recommend it. The only thing, like I said, that I'd avoid is like fabric stuff. I don't recommend buying blankets from Goodwill just because. And also, I would never buy like a mattress or like a cloth couch from Goodwill because you just never know what people have done on those things. But, you know, if you can find like a decent table at Goodwill, get that shit. SM got us with Shiny's color. I mean, they did. They really did. Kara says, my apartment is all white and wooden with the exception of the pastel pink and blue pictures on the wall. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I have no theme in my apartment. Like, literally, my apartment is just whatever IKEA said I should have. Like, I have a whole bunch of purple and, like, maroony colored flowers in my house right now. And that is literally because on the after Christmas sale at IKEA, they had these flowers for, like, $2 and $3 a bunch. And they're fake flowers, so I would never have to water them or treat them like they're alive. So I bought them. Speaking of which, I haven't watered Stephanie's cactus in weeks. So like this color scheme, I have like 4 to 6 different bunches of fake flowers that have this exact color scheme because they were on sale. So I don't know anything about style. I just know what I like. But yeah. It's funny how like we all have our different things about us that we do, that we indulge. Oh, and glasses. That's the other thing that I spend money on is cheap glasses. I love cheap glasses. So like these glasses right here, these are cheap glasses. I love them. And I'm always looking for like the latest cheap glass website. So Zlol is the newest one. I used to buy from Coastal. I have bought from just all kinds of glasses places. Trick to doing that for those of you who are interested. I don't know how many of you who watch me that wear glasses might need this pro tip. If you go to like an Eyeglass World or America's Best or one of these other places that like does the exam and you can buy your eyeglasses from, anytime you go in that place to get your eye exam, they'll always give you like this thing where like, oh, you can get a discount on your own pair of glasses. And like I go to America's Best, and if you go to America's Best and you do an eye exam, they have like a section of super cheap glasses where you can get like 1 pair for free or 2 pairs for free, something crazy like that. I go ahead and I get my free glasses from them, but then I ask them to do my pupil measurement and stuff, which they do in order to fit the glasses correctly. And I ask them to make a copy of my prescription, including like my pupil distances and everything else. And I use that script that they give me, and I shop all of the cheap website internety places to get cheap glasses. Like the only thing I do is I make sure that like my social security number is not on that script. I'll white it out if I have to because I'm not about to give that to anybody. But yeah, you take your script, you go to the different websites that sell glasses, you plug your script in, and then you can buy any cheap fucking glasses you want to. And a lot of these websites, if you're looking for just like the most basic glasses without like any of the lens finishes or anything, you can get a basic set of glasses for really cheap. Like I bought 2 pairs of glasses for under $40 from Zlol. Zeelool, and yeah, I got basic fucking lenses in them. The frames were like, one of them was a $7 pair of frames. I think the other one was like a $12 pair of frames, and the lenses were like $10 lenses. They were really, really cheap. But I like changing my glasses depending on what I'm wearing or what kind of feeling I have for the day. And so, yeah, to me, that's something that some people love earrings, some people love necklaces, some people love rings, some people love getting their nails done. I just really love glasses because to me it dresses up my face in a way that nothing else will, because I don't wear makeup because of all of my skin allergies, and it's just a really nice way to change my style. Are the prescriptions expensive though? So I'm not sure where you are, Ian, but if you lived here in America, you could go to America's Best, which is the place nearest to where I live, and you can get a glasses prescription from them for like $50. And with them, like I said, you go in there, you pay $50 to get your eyeglass examination, and then you also get 2 free pairs of their cheapest glasses for that $50. You get an eye exam plus 2 pairs of glasses. That's fairly reasonable. And then, like I said, you take that prescription, you save it, and you use it. And an eyeglass prescription, as opposed to a contact lens prescription, lasts for 2 years. So if you get your eyes examined, you can do it every 2 years, and you can shop for glasses for 2 years. And just every time you get a little bit of extra pocket money, buy you a new set of glasses. You know, it's really easy. Like, I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 pairs of glasses right now. I have 2 pairs of glasses just sitting here where I'm at. I have this pair of glasses right here, and then I have another pair of glasses sitting on the table right now. I have these glasses on the table. So yeah, I tend to really like different glasses. That's my thing. Anybody else got any fun, quirky things that they do? And then, like, food. I buy a lot of food. I'm constantly cooking stuff. But that's just because, like, being vegetarian, the fast food options are not always great. And so I find myself really experimenting in the kitchen and buying food and making stuff. It depends also, like, what's going on, too, because, like, with Stephanie gone, cooking is not fun because it's really hard to cook for one person. And I'm used to making quantities for 2. So yeah, I haven't been as inspired, but like I'm always seeing something on like the Tasty app and I'm like, I should try that. Do I bake? I don't bake a lot. Now, when the pandemic first hit, I think me and everybody's grandmother made dalgona coffee and tried to bake bread. And I did try to bake bread. I currently have yeast, so excited. But I don't really do a lot of baking. But ironically enough, I did bake last night. I bought one of those rolls of like cinnamon rolls, but I got the orange flavored cinnamon rolls, and I made those last night. And I ate 2 of them, and they were delicious. And I'm probably gonna eat another one before I go to bed tonight. But yeah, if I'm baking, I tend to want to bake stuff that's like easy to not fuck up. I'm not a big like cake baker and decorator and stuff like that. Like if I make a cake, I make a pound cake because a pound cake is really hard to fuck up. If I make cookies, I usually do like a sugar cookie because it's not really easy to fuck up. I mean, it's just a sugar cookie. There it is. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to baking. I'm not one for like the bread baking because it's too easy to overproof your bread. And you have to wait like long periods of time for the proofing process. And I'm not that one. I would have to set lots of timers because I'm just not that one. I heard Dollar Tree stickers and don't use them. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me tell you something. It just happens to be that I have this in my living room for no reason at all, just because. I have this thing right here. This represents an addiction that I had for close to 4 years of my life. I managed to break this addiction after I had a child, but before I had a child, this was my biggest vice. I got in so much trouble for this. I spent way too much money, but this is pretty much full of Sanrio stationery sets. I can't believe this conversation has dissolved into this, but you know what? I'm not mad at that. I used to be a huge Hello Kitty fan. I kind of broke that up when I got into K-pop because I really can only spend money on one of 2 things. K-pop is where my money went. But back when I was single and didn't have to spend money on a bunch of people, I collected Hello Kitty stationery. The stationery I'm about to show you here, I'm pretty sure that most of this stationery is close to 20 years old. I still have it because I can't make myself throw it away. I'm trying to find a way to use it. But like this piece of stationery I'm going to show you, the copyright on this is 2001. So this is close to 20 years old. This is Hello Kitty as a peacock. This one, I don't even know what this character's name is. He's asleep. This cat character. And all these I've opened and used at least one time. Now, in college, my grandfather, before he passed, he used to send me $100 every single month while I was in college. And I used to always send him a thank you. Oh, we're back. I used to always send him a thank you letter. And I would always write his thank you letter on my Hello Kitty stationery. So I would write him on different stationery every single month. And so I've used at least one sheet of every single one of these. This is one I got in Koreatown when I moved to Dallas. So this one is not Hello Kitty, it's just Koreatown. But it's made in Korea, so it's authentically Korean. Awesome. And then I have the other color, which is orange, so that's really cool. And I have this one that was also made in Korea, and it's really, this is like super regular. Like I can't even describe, like it's, do you see how freaking regular that is? I don't know why I bought it. I think I just really liked the color at the time. This is some more Hello Kitty stuff here. This rainbow Hello Kitty. It's even prettier on the other side. Like, it's so colorful. This is Hello Kitty tropical fruit. I got more. This is Maru. I used to really like Maru. Pachaco. This is a letter postcard for Hello Kitty. This one's really cool. So there's that. More Maru. This is Hello Kitty as a sundae. This is another Maru letter set. I really liked Maru because he always looked pissed off. I don't know why, but just for some reason that spoke to me. This is Pickle. This is Hello Kitty Angel set. This is Keroppi. Hello Kitty the Ballerina. This is Spotty Dotty. Okay, I think we're at the last stretch here. This is Ruru Twins. This one is, I forget what his name is, but he's a raccoon. Don't know why. More Hello Kitty Putty Bear. Can you see it? Putty Bear. More Hello Kitty Angel. More Maru. This is more Pachaco. This is more Pachaco, but it's Space Pachaco. This is more Hello Kitty Cloud / Angel Hello Kitty. This is another Pachaco set. And this is Hello Kitty Butterfly. Yeah, Hello Kitty Butterfly. Also, just so you know, there are all of these, plus I have like 20 vintage Hello Kitty pencils, like wooden pencils. And for those of you asking, I got all this stuff back when there used to be a Sanrio store in the Grapevine Mills Mall in Dallas. And I used to buy my stuff directly from the Sanrio company. And that's where I got all these things. And then that store closed about, gosh, I think it's been like 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe even longer than that. But that was where I would get all my Sanrio stuff. And it was not cheap. Like, it wasn't cheap then. It wouldn't have been cheap now. This set was $2.50, $3, $2.50, $4, $4.50, $1.25, $3.50. Not even sure what this one cost. I don't know. It didn't have the price on it. This one here was $1.87, so that was actually pretty cheap. This one here was $1.95. This one here was, I don't know, the price is not on this one. Oh, this one's $2. This one is $3.50. and this one is $250. And I know you're saying to yourself, well, that's not super expensive. We're talking these prices 20 years ago. So it was actually more like paying, you know, $6 and $7. So it was a little bit expensive. Let's see. I was a weird person that collected quarters, all 50 states from every year. But once I got older, I spent it going to the candy store around the corner. I have always thought about collecting my birth year quarter and collecting my daughter's birth year quarter, but then I decided not to because I realized that was me trying to imitate my mom, because my mom has birth year quarters for all of her children. So I said no. My local library had me do some of their work in exchange of stickers because I loved them so much as a kid. My sister loves stickers. Our room had a wall dedicated to it. She would like thumbtack the entire strip of stickers so she didn't have to peel them. Your sister was smart. Ian says, I did quarters too, would always spend it after LOL. Got all 50 now. What am I buying? All right, so all of us have our thing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I look back on these things, and these represent many, many trips back and forth to Dallas to buy them. And the fun that I had going there, and I'd go through the food court, and just, I had a good time. So I don't regret these purchases at all. But, like, these aren't even in pristine condition, so it's not like I can resell them. So they're just here, and I can't force myself to get rid of them. So what I decided I was going to do, which is the reason why they're actually underneath my coffee table, is that I'm still working on trying to get together my sales spreadsheet. And I felt like what I would do is that every time I sell something, I would tuck a few pieces of stationery in with whatever I sold. That way the person that got them would have some cute stationery that they could then pass on, and then all these pieces of paper would find new homes and they wouldn't be wasted. So that was my plan, but I've been really lax about getting my sales together, so that's not going to see the light of day for a smooth minute, but working on it, definitely working on it. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go because it's now been a couple of hours that we've been talking, and I know for a lot of you it is even later for you than it is for me, but I do appreciate you guys talking with me tonight because I just really need to talk to somebody. Not because anything's going on. It's just one of those deals where I was like, you know what? Feeling a little bit lonely, wouldn't mind having somebody to talk to. So that's why I decided to talk to you guys. And you guys have been a very kind audience. So I appreciate you. Kiara says, oh yes, I need washi tape so my many photo card sellers send the photo cards with cute washi tape. Washi tape is so easy to get. Like, it is so freaking easy to get. If you want to get really inexpensive washi tape, I recommend going to like the dollar section of Target because sometimes they'll have washi tape there. If you have a Michael's near you, Michael's always has a lot of really cheap washi tape in their store, and it's near the cash register a lot of the time, so that's another place to get it. But if you really are cheap and you don't mind waiting for a minute, try the Wish app. Like, I used to do it on eBay, but eBay has gotten kind of sketchy recently. Go on the Wish app or go like to AliExpress. You can get a lot of washi tapes for a really reasonable price, and the washi tapes that you can get are like really bizarrely fancy, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I would absolutely try that. If you're looking for washi tapes and you'd like an abundance, then I would recommend the Wish app. The only thing you have to be careful with the Wish app though is like, you'll see washi tape on Wish for like $1, and then when you add it to your cart, the shipping is $2, so it ends up being $3. What can you do? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the lives and that you like talking to me too. So that's all for now. I'm going to try to figure out one day how to do the Zoom thing through YouTube, because apparently there's a way to do that. That way I can invite people to talk with me. But until I figure that out, it's going to be kind of a one-way street here. So I appreciate you hanging in there with me while I do this, and I will talk to all of you very, very soon. Bye, everybody.